long before the Great Flood, before Moses, before the kingdoms of men. The world was already at war, not between tribes, not between empires, but between beings. Genesis 6:4 says, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. They were called the Nephilim, and their arrival wasn't an accident. It was a plan, an agenda, to corrupt, conquer, and control the earth. And what followed was so catastrophic that history itself was buried underwater, and the survivors forced to start over. But the Nephilim? Their influence never truly disappeared, and neither did their bloodline. Let's start with the basics. In ancient Hebrew, Nephilim means fallen ones, or those who fall. They weren't just tall humans, they were hybrids, the offspring of the sons of God, interpreted by many scholars as angels or higher beings, and human women. They were described as gigantic in stature, possessing immense strength, gifted with forbidden knowledge, and violent beyond measure. They ruled cities, they led armies, they demanded worship. And according to ancient texts, their corruption spread so fast that earth itself cried out. But why? Why would celestial beings descend to earth and create hybrids? Ancient writings, like the Book of Enoch, hint at a darker motive: to defy the natural order, to corrupt human DNA, to teach forbidden arts, weapon-making, sorcery, enchantments, the manipulation of nature, and ultimately, to claim the earth as their own. The Nephilim weren't just accidents. They were an invasion, a hostile colonization effort wrapped in mythology. And when their influence reached a tipping point, the flood came, not just to cleanse sin, but to wipe the hybrid bloodline off the face of the earth. But here's the part most forget. And also after that, the Nephilim returned after the flood. The Bible speaks of giants in the land of Canaan, mighty warriors like Goliath, entire clans, the Rephaim, the Anakim, the Zamzummim. They weren't just big men, they were survivors, fragments of the old world still pushing the same agenda: dominate humanity, disrupt divine order, secure power at any cost. And ancient Israel's wars weren't just about territory. They were a targeted campaign against these remaining bloodlines. A silent war hidden behind the surface stories. Now here's where it gets deeper. Some believe the Nephilim bloodlines didn't just survive the flood. They went underground. Not literally, although some legends hint at hidden cities, but metaphorically, into the thrones of kings, the veins of dynasties, the elite bloodlines that still control institutions, wealth, and knowledge today. Royal genealogies obsessed with purity, secret societies tracing their origins to ancient orders, obsession with genetics, DNA, and preservation of bloodlines across thousands of years. Is it coincidence? Or did the ancient agenda never truly end, just evolve? From open warfare to quiet domination, there are whispers that the Nephilim influence is reawakening through genetic manipulation, artificial intelligence, transhumanism, secret knowledge passed through closed circles. The same forbidden arts taught before the flood, now dressed up in the language of progress. But the goal remains the same: reclaim the earth. Not by force this time, but by invitation, by offering mankind the tools to remake itself at the cost of its soul. The war for earth never ended, it just moved underground, into boardrooms, into laboratories, into dreams sold as evolution. And if the ancient texts are right, the Nephilim aren't coming back. They never left. Next time, on Beyond Official Records. It wasn't just a tower to the heavens. It was a bridge, a gate, and someone was terrified enough to destroy it. The Tower of Babel, a gateway to the gods, not just a tower coming soon.